In the heart of World War II, when stakes ran high and strategies were key, an extraordinary plan was set in motion: Operation Mincemeat. Now, before your imagination runs wild with thoughts of military hardware and surging battlefields, let's unveil a plot that is as far from the battlefield as possible, yet incredibly impactful on the course of history. Picture this, London, 1943. The Allies are deep in the throes of the war, eyeing an invasion of southern Europe, but the question is, where would the Axis powers least expect it? The answer: a clever ruse involving espionage, deception, a little bit of daring, and a dead body. Yes, you heard that right. Known formally as Operation Mincemeat, this ingenious plan was designed to mislead Adolf Hitler and his top brass about the Allied invasion plans for Sicily. Enter two British intelligence officers, Lieutenant Commander Ewen Montagu and Flight Lieutenant Charles Cholmondeley. Together, they concocted a plan straight out of a spy novel. They needed to convince the Nazis that the Allies' next target wasn't Sicily, which logic suggested, but rather Greece and Sardinia. Their chosen method was simplicity, wrapped in a cloak of absurdity. The first catch: a body. They needed a body that could carry fake documents suggesting the alternate invasion, convincingly enough to dupe the German intelligence. The intricate task led them to acquire the body of a deceased homeless man. This unfortunate soul would step into his posthumous role as Major William Martin, a fictitious officer of the Royal Marines. But in intelligence work, it wasn't just enough to have a story. It needed layers and plausible authenticity. Montagu and Cholmondeley dressed the body in a military uniform and filled its pockets with personal effects: a letter to an imaginary father, a love letter from an equally fictional fiancé, even a receipt from a wedding ring purchase. Every detail was meticulously crafted to build a narrative around Major Martin. Then came the pièce de résistance, a briefcase handcuffed to the body carrying classified-looking documents alluding to an imminent invasion of Greece. They let these hints lead the Germans to a false verification, directing them away from the real target, Sicily. To complete the charade, the body was released off the coast of Spain, in a location calculated to maximize the chance it would fall into the hands of German sympathizers. And it worked. The Spanish authorities handed the documents over to the Germans, who swallowed the bait hook, line, and sinker. Nazi high command, now convinced of the impending attack on Greece and Sardinia, redeployed their troops accordingly. The result? The Allies faced significantly reduced resistance during their actual invasion of Sicily, paving the way for their successful advance into occupied Europe. So how did one homeless man's deathbed story end up changing the course of World War II? Operation Mincemeat showed that wars aren't just won with weapons and soldiers alone, but also with clever creativity and strategic deception. The operation has since become the cornerstone study in the art of warfare deception. It aptly demonstrates how inventive minds can alter the tide of history, leaving us to wonder about the unrealized stories behind many historical events. Whether you're a history buff or simply enjoy a good plot twist, Operation Mincemeat encapsulates the bizarre ingenuity and daring resolve of wartime intelligence. The plan is not just a story from the history books, but a lesson that sometimes the most unthinkable ideas are indeed the ones that carry the day. And with that, Operation Mincemeat remains one of history's most remarkable and quirky episodes, a tale of war, imagination, and an unforgettable macabre deception.